Good morning. Welcome to the Breakfast Club. This is Joe Shoup. Unfortunately, Mark won't be with us today. However, we're going to cover some great material today. If you would just once again put in the chat box that you can hear me. We're going to get started as soon as I see a few messages in there that, yes, you can hear me. I know that you see the messages, so therefore you should be able to hear me, and I want to make sure of that before we go ahead and change the screen here. But anyway, good morning. I hope you're all having a good morning. It's beautiful here in Arizona today, as Rudy will attest. So Rudy, go ahead and type in the box there. I see that you're on there. Hello, Cindy. Yes. Hey, Josiah. Thank you. Very cool. Very good. You know what? Today is a really special day for us, and we recognize that Jim Rohn's birthday was on the 17th of September, not today, but we still want to honor that. One of the great entrepreneurs and trainers, teachers, mentors of all time, really. He's considered one of the best ever. And it's important that we honor people like that who have brought this industry to the level that it is today and made it possible for all of us to be able to have the opportunity to succeed in this business. So I'm going to go ahead and share my screen. Once I do that, I'm not able to see a chat box. So I'm only going to assume that you can see it. Now, Rudy, if you cannot in the next, let's say 3 minutes, see a screen change, Shirley and Rudy, if you would text me, only if you don't see the screen. If you see it, that's fine. We'll just let it go. But if you don't, send me a text. My phone is sitting here, and then I'll be able to understand. Okay? So thank you. So good morning. All right, so let's go ahead and do a little screen share here, and we will get right to it. Okay, I am sharing the entire screen right now, and you should see welcome to the Breakfast Club and a picture of Mark and myself and my espresso pot. So we will just move on from there. I just want to welcome you all to the Breakfast Club, but let's just get started right away, because September 17th was just a great day for the world, really, because Jim Rohn, as I said, is one of the great American entrepreneurs, author, motivational speaker, and it's a great rags to riches story, to be honest with you. So from the Breakfast Club and personally from myself, happy birthday, Jim. And thanks for being the mentor that you were to all of us and continue to be through your legacy. Let's take a look at a few things here. I want to give you a few quotes, not necessarily from Jim, but these were important things I think we need to know. If there's something wrong, those who have the ability to take action have the responsibility to take action. And I believe that that's an important part of our founding fathers. Another great quote is, the mode in which the inevitable comes to pass is through effort. We all know about that. We always teach you have to go to work. In order to succeed, you really have to go to work. And we believe in that here. And today we're going to talk about change, because that's what Jim Rohn taught about, change. This was a great hockey player and was very well loved in Philadelphia, still is. Success is not the result of spontaneous combustion. You have to light the fire. You have to go to work, in other words. Rick McLeish, Philadelphia Flyers. This lady, if you have never heard of Christy Bass, you need to look her up. Great leaders don't succeed because they are great. They succeed because they bring out greatness in others. And we look around this industry, and I can tell you that a lot of the complaints in this industry is about not getting the support of the leaders. So I encourage you to become a great leader. You can't help your leaders become good leaders. And just because it's an upline doesn't mean it's a leader. find a leader, someone who is going to help you succeed. Tom Brokaw said this at one time. It's a lot tougher to make a difference, and we all know that. You know, we get up every day with the intent of doing something that makes a difference, but it's much tougher to do that. So let's take a look now. Those things that Jim would have agreed with. Let me give you a little bit of history for those that don't know Jim Rohn or didn't know him or don't even know of him. He's the reason we're here today, to be perfectly honest with you. He's one of the reasons and one of the main reasons. He was an American entrepreneur, as we all know, author, motivational speaker, a great rags to riches story, but he influenced people all over the world in personal development. For over 40 years, Jim honored his craft like a skilled artist, helping people the world over sculpt the life strategies that have expanded their imagination of what is possible. So you can go ahead and read that here on the screen. You'll have an opportunity to do that. But one of the biggest things that Jim was famous for is helping others. An entire generation of personal development trainers and hundreds of executives from America's top corporations. He was born in Idaho, a farming family. And at 25, he met his mentor. And Jim was really, motivated himself to do something with his life. And when someone asked him, a friend at a Rotary Club, they asked him to tell his success story, that's when Jim's life began as a mentor. How do you make it to Beverly Hills, from an Idaho farm boy? And the speech went over so well that he was asked to speak, and he started making money from that one speech. He was asked to speak all over the world. It got to the point where, he was the most sought after speaker, not only in our industry, but in the business world. And he impacted many, many, many lives. But here's the important thing. Jim focused on the fundamentals of human behavior that most affect personal and business performance. His is the standard to which those who seek to teach and inspire others are compared. He possessed the unique ability to bring extraordinary insights to ordinary principles and events. And the combination of his substance and style captures the imagination of those who hear or read his words. Now let's take a look. He was a wordsmith. I mean, probably the greatest of our time in our industry, at least. And here's a sampling of what Jim taught. Skills. Don't wish it were easier. Wish you were better. Don't wish for less problems. Wish for more skills. Don't wish for less challenges. Wish for more wisdom. And in growth, Jim said, don't join an easy crowd. You won't grow. Go where the expectations and the demands to perform and achieve are high. We can read many stories of people that Jim mentored, and one of the biggest things and the challenge that people had was to go involve themselves where they were going to be challenged. And I think a lot of us, grew up right there. Instead of being easy, hanging with the easy crowd. I mean, be careful of who you hang around with. I know there's a number of people that we've mentored a little bit who, bonded with each other, and they spend their days today, not here at our company or any company. They just kind of talk and, tell about their life stories and all their woes in life. I know. And I've let go of a number of those people in my life. And that's basically because Jim taught us that. Change. He said, we generally change ourselves for one of two reasons, inspiration or desperation. I think it doesn't matter much which one of those you decided to change your life, why you decided to change your life. I think the fact that you decide to change is extremely important, regardless of the reason. And we're going to talk about that change today because that's what Jim was most famous for. Activity. The few who dare are the envy of the many who watch. Pretty interesting. And with success, he said, success is what you attract by the person you become. We teach a lot of things at the Breakfast Club and throughout our lives during the week. Mark and I spend a lot of time mentoring people. I'm excited to work with someone not even in my group. She's on the call today, Mary, and I appreciate her over the weekend introducing me to her brother, who's very excited about Carrot Bars. I was excited to help her. I don't know that she gets much help from anywhere else, but that's why she called me. She's been through the communication class. She called me for help to get her brother registered. Her brother is very excited. I mean, we went through the same questions that I would go through normally with anyone, with her brother. We didn't treat it as anyone special and just have a talk about yesterday's news. And we talked about what you should talk about in an interview and found out where he is. And he was excited about that. And so, I appreciated that she came to me for help. She's been with the company a while, but she needed some help with various things. And Mary, I just want to tell you that I'm excited about your progress and the efforts you're making and the progress you're making and the ability to actually introduce your brother using the right tools. Actually, she uses Tools Rock, and that got her brother excited. I love helping people, and I don't look at the monetary value of it because over time, it'll take care of itself. But success is what you attract by the person you become. Become a leader. Be willing to help everybody, no matter what it is. I have people up lines and cross lines and so on that will not help other people unless they're in their group. Wrong attitude. So again, Mary, thanks for allowing me to be part of your life to help not just your business, but your family. Let's take a look at what Jim really taught. Change begins with choice. Any day we wish, we can discipline ourselves to change it all. Any day we wish, we can open the book that will open our mind to new knowledge. Any day we wish, we can start a new activity. Any day we wish, we can start the process of life change. We can do it immediately or next week or next month or next year. It is time for people who aren't succeeding to take a look at what they need to change, because today you could do it now, as Jim said. You could do it immediately next week, next month, or next year. It's up to you. Just have to make the decision to do it. We can also do nothing. We can pretend rather than perform. And if the idea of having to change ourselves makes us uncomfortable, we can remain as we are. We can choose rest over labor, entertainment over education, delusion over truth, and doubt over confidence. The choices are ours to make. But while we curse the effect, we continue to nourish the cause. As Shakespeare uniquely observed, the fault is not in the stars, but in ourselves. We created our circumstances by our past choices. We have both the ability and the responsibility to make better choices beginning today. Those who are in search of the good life do not need more answers or more time to think things over to reach better conclusions. They need the truth. They need the whole truth and nothing but the truth. We cannot allow our errors in judgment repeated every day to lead us down the wrong path. We must keep coming back to those basics that make the biggest difference in how our life works out. And then we must make the very choices that will bring life, happiness, and joy in our daily lives. Can understand why Jim Rohn was such a great leader and why he was sought after all over the world. This was very, very smart man. And as we continue, and if I may be so bold to offer my last piece of advice for someone seeking and needing to make changes in their life, if you don't like how things are, change it. You have the ability to totally transform every area in your life. And it all begins with your very own power of choice. Thoughts determine what you want. Choice determines what you'll spend your time doing, and action determines what you get. Let me tell you, Mark Stevens is working extremely hard in one of our businesses. And he is doing all the fundamental principles that Jim Rohn has taught. Language, leadership, activity, charting throughout the day. Charting his progress, monitoring it, and mentoring people. And giving them the choice. He's not making anybody do anything. He's giving them the choice, just as Jim Rohn has said. It's your choice. 5 major pieces to the life puzzle. Jim Rohn's book, 5 Major Pieces to Life Puzzle, was published in 1991. Describes what he considered the 5 components of success. The first was philosophy, how you think. The next was attitude, how you feel. The next is action, what you do. And the next is results. Measure often to see if you are making progress. And then lifestyle, the kind of life you can make for yourself. Make for yourself out of the first 4 choices. Now think about that for a minute. Take a good mental picture of that. Think about how you think. Our communication class is about thinking. It's not about scripts. It's the philosophy of how to think in your business. It seems that every life form on this planet strives toward its maximum potential, except human beings. A tree does not grow to half its potential size and then say, I guess that will do. A tree will drive its roots as deep as possible. It will soak up as much nourishment as it can, stretch as high and wide as nature will allow, and then look down as if to remind us of how much each of us could become if we would only do all that we can do. Comes from the book, 5 Major Pieces to Life's Puzzle. We can say so much more about Jim Rohn. I hope you wrote down the books and some of the other quotes from some of the other people, but today is a day for me to say thank you to Jim Rohn for what he left us, what he gave us while he was living, and what he left us after he passed on. People are still learning today. My suggestion is that you Google and go look at the information that Jim has provided for us. Read some of his books and understand how important it is for change. It all begins with that one simple choice of saying, I want to change and I'm going to do what I can. Now, some people will get stuck in, well, what do I do with change? It depends on what you're changing. But if it's about your life and about your business, my suggestion is you write down what it is you are doing now, what it is you are saying now in your business. What activities are you performing on a regular basis? Are you monitoring your business? These are the things that Jim taught us. It starts with that, what have I been doing? And if I'm not happy with what I have, what should I be doing? What can I do? Who can I associate myself with? Who can I partner up with? There are 2 women on the call, I believe now, who are actually 3, and Mary's one of them, and Cindy and Vicky, who are partnered up because they took a class recently. They're not in any of their downlines. They're not partners as far as upline and downline. They all in separate lines, but they took the communication class and decided that they wanted to work to further themselves. They're making a change in their life and they're having success. I talk with Cindy, who is making the changes in business to make it worth her while and to make it a successful business. Same thing with Mary. And those 3 are working together now, learning how to change, learning language, learning how to track. So I know it can be done because these are 3 veterans of the industry who want to make change, and that's what they're doing. And I'm excited for those three. I'm excited to work with them. We'll be working together in the next couple of weeks and having some dialogue together after their sessions, their practice sessions. But I can tell you, it's not going to happen for you unless you make a change. If you're not happy where you are, then change the direction. If not, do as Jim says, stay where you are. You'll just continue to do the same thing year after year and continue to say it doesn't work, or I tried it, or it's not the right company. I believe that many, many companies in this industry are the right company. I happen to think Karatbars is probably the best of the best, mainly because of the product that they offer, which allows us not to have an expense, but an asset. Every other company that we have, I don't care what company is and how great they are, whether it's nutrition to legal, when you make a purchase with those companies, you have created an expense. But in Karatbars, you have created an asset because you are not giving up any value. You're actually trading one value for another, and one that would decrease over time and the other that will increase over time. That's the biggest difference. And one of the other great assets of the business is that there's no requirement to even have a monthly purchase in order to make a commission check, which I think all companies should be. But I also think everyone should make a purchase every month, but not required to get their check. So, change begins with choice. We have to make that decision whether or not we want to make a change, a true change, a real change that makes a difference this time. So let me just read this and say, thank you, Jim Rohn, for all you have taught us and for sharing your knowledge to all that have listened. Most of all, thank you for caring enough to devote your life to help people with their personal development and all of life's challenges. Thank you for giving us the guidelines and helping us see the need for change in our business and our personal lives. You were and continue to be, through your legacy, the best of the best. Happy birthday, Jim. We will always remember and honor you year after year at the Breakfast Club. So, with that, let me see if I can get back to a screen. And I'm hoping I can get back to that stage. Let's do it here. I think this is it. Okay. Now I have to stop sharing. And there we go. And we will turn the camera off and go to there. So I can now see the comments in the chat room. I don't know how many of you are familiar with all the teachings of Jim Rohn and what he's given us over the years. But if you want to make a few comments that you have and, or going to and study him and so on, we'll do that before we go. We're at the bottom of the hour. I see that Josiah is, can everybody see everybody else's comments on here? Or am I the only one that can see them? Josiah, who took the class, says the communication class is the best investment of personal time I have ever invested. To get the edge I needed to excel in the business from home development and growth. Thanks, Joe Shoot, Mark Stevens, and Tools Rock. Yeah, you're welcome, Josiah. I can only go back to thanks, Jim Rohn. Can somebody type in there and let me know whether or not you can actually see everybody's comments? But anyway, it's not a whole lot in there, but I want to thank you all for being here. I think, yep, there we go. I see all the comments. Yep, Vicky. Well, look, I want to thank you all for being here. Mark's okay. Nothing wrong with Mark. He had some business to take care of this morning. He's working really hard. And I want to thank you for being here. Just encourage people to, first of all, to get to educational things in the business, to learn how to get your business off the ground. Okay, so we got Shirley on here. Let me see what I have here. Sorry, guys. Okay, thanks. Appreciate that. Okay. All right. Well, once again, thanks for being here. I hope you're having a great day. You know what? We all need change somewhere in our life. Pick out the area that you need change and go for it. Make the changes, but it all starts with writing down. Take a pencil and start writing things. Where have you been? Where are you going? What have you been doing? What do you want to do? What should you be doing? And let it go from there. So thank you all for being here. I appreciate it. Mark says hello to everyone and wishes you a great day. And so have a wonderful time. I think Thursday night there's a class on Tools Rock, so you'll have to look at the chat rooms to find that. Other than that, we will see you next Tuesday at 12 p.m. or 12 noon Eastern at the Breakfast Club. Thanks for being here, everybody. Have a great day.